Hi, my name is Isabella Johnston, the Intern Whisperer. Our show is brought to you by Employers for Change, and today's tip of the week is that we continue our discussion on unconscious bias. We want to give thanks to Bailey Rayners with builtin.com for the list. Now, we're still addressing the need to maintain diversity in hiring goals, and you want to seek out diverse sources of talent by opening up positions to remote candidates, which broadens the candidates pool to include people of varying life experiences and targeting different groups. You want to target historically Black colleges and universities. They're referred to as HBCUs, and Hispanic colleges. Be sure to look at veterans, individuals with disabilities, and those that are internationals. You want to visit our blog page at www.e4c.tech, and you'll find a list of these great organizations and institutions, along with Employers for Change, to help you with your staffing needs. Welcome to the Intern Whisperer. Our show is all about the future of work. Okay, welcome to the Intern Whisperer. Our show is all about the future of work and innovation. And today's guest, I'm so excited. She's a personal friend. Her name is Ashley Elliott. She is launching her own startup. Could not be more excited and certainly want to be supportive. It is called Pick Happy Holistic Wellness. I look forward to being a customer. Ashley's background and experience excels in serving others. She has over 20 years of experience serving the Orlando community. Her background includes technical recruiting, sales, marketing, and management, everything you need to run a business. And she loves building relationships and helping people succeed. As a new entrepreneur, she is taking her passion to helping others gain wholeness through holistic health that is developed through her coaching and wellness lifestyle company. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Isabella.
I am so excited.
I'm so excited to be here.
I know. This is great because I have listened to you talk about health and how important it is. And your passion, it just has always resonated with me. I didn't have the funds at that time to be a customer, but I look forward to being a customer.
You got it. I'm here to help.
Yes. So our show is always about education, innovation, and the future of the industries and jobs. So now that you have that framed, we always kick off the show with tell us 5 words that describe you and why those 5 words. And the first word is holistic. Is that what you shared with me? Why holistic?
It's wholeness. It's all about not just what you eat or how you exercise, but it's also how you manage your stress and what are your relationships like. So mind, body, spirit, they're all connected. It's one whole person.
That is succinct and true, because if we don't pay attention, obviously, to diet, rest, and exercise, what is that? That isn't existent in my life still yet, but working on it. Anyway, you have to have all of those elements to feel healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about compassionate?
I care for too many people. My husband tells me I have to stop giving.
Oh, no. Well, maybe he just means that you don't have to stop giving, but just kind of check yourself.
Yeah. I'm addicted to donating time and money.
Yeah.
People
time is everything.
It is. And it's the only thing that's a limited asset. Everybody has the same amount of time in a day.
Very true. How is it that we don't learn that until we get a little older in life, right?
Yes. I don't know. Time management should definitely be a class.
I don't even know if it's time management. It's more about valuing time.
Yes.
Because I think when I was in my 20s, I could understand the concept of time management and certainly was good at it. But I don't think I valued it as much as I do later.
Yeah. No, I agree completely. And it's also where you spend your time. Are you, there's a saying, and it's something along the lines of like, you can work all the hours in a day, but your family's not going to necessarily be there when you get done.
Yeah.
So to speak.
Yeah. And, that isn't what shows up at your funeral either.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Pick what really matters in life. Right. How about empathetic? Why did you pick that one?
Because I'm an empathetic person. I feel people's feelings. I don't know how to explain it, but if you're sad, I can pick up on that. And it's just an intuitive gift, so to speak.
That was like an avatar.
Yeah.
They could feel, or in Guardians of the Galaxy, one of my favorite movies too. They could feel what the other person was actually saying in their life. How about honest?
Honesty is key.
So how do you
Integrity.
define that?
Integrity, doing the right thing when no one else is looking, doing what you say that you're going to do. Yeah.
I would agree with you. Integrity. I sometimes, we think we're people that are honest. And for me, I know that I've run a few red lights or turned the corner without fully stopping. And, that's not honest. So I feel like we need to strive for doing better.
Yeah.
Setting the example for, when nobody sees us, if you will. Yeah.
Exactly.
So your last word was kind. Why kind?
Because I think kindness is key. I think if we, treat people the way that we want to be treated, and, the grandmother rule, treat people like you want your grandmother to be treated. That all comes down to kindness, and the world needs more kindness.
Yeah. I know that anybody, it takes 7 touches for a person to be, felt and seen and, heard and valued.
I've actually read that.
Yeah. And it can be where not necessarily physical touches, but certainly that makes a difference. That connectivity, touching the skin to skin is always good. Like holding somebody's hand or
physical touch,
patting their little face or whatever.
Yeah.
I say that because you said grandmother, and I went, wow, there's a lot of elderly that are just starved for, the human connection and touch.
Yeah. That was, I just saw something on Facebook the other day that was like trick or treat at a nursing home, because
it's so good.
They're just lonely, you know what I mean? And it makes them so happy just to see the little kiddos running around.
So we should probably take the candy there and leave them a candy.
Yes.
And some of it should probably be sugar-free in case they're diabetic, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Something or maybe take fruit. I don't know.
Yeah. Fruit would be a good choice.
Yeah. That's a healthy choice since we're talking about, health and holistic health and stuff. Yeah. That would be good. All right. Well, tell us where you went to school. How did you get started your first job to where you are now? And tell us for sure about Pick Happiness Holistic Wellness. I've got it.
So I actually was a student here at Valencia.
Okay. Snaps for Valencia.
I got my AA degree here, and I was going for elementary education. I wanted to be a teacher.
I can see that.
Yeah. Love kids. They're amazing. So I wanted to be a teacher, and I got accepted to Florida Atlantic down in Boca, and I found out I was pregnant.
Oh, wow.
So I stayed here and I got into sales. I worked for 2 Men in a Truck. So I started with
I love that company too. They always move me.
They're amazing. And it's such a good story too. Very entrepreneurial in spirit. So I started with them as an office manager, worked my way, or as a customer service rep, worked my way up to office management. And by the time I left, I was running 8 trucks on the road, knew where they were, hey, your truck's going to be late, so it was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. And then I got into IT staffing. So I was an IT recruiter for about 8 years, and went from IT staffing to a software development company called Informulate. And
who's that? I'm not sure.
That?
Yeah. We should give a shout out.
Yeah. It's Rajiv Menon is our CEO. He's actually been on your show as well.
Yes, I was going to say that. Good job.
I know a little bit about him. But yeah, so software development company. I do sales, marketing, event management is really kind of a key one. So we do a lot there. And then I'm starting this. So kind of a little background. In 2009, I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis.
What is that?
It is in the IBS family, which is irritable bowel syndrome. So ulcerative colitis is inflammation of the colon, which is your large intestine. So it's kind of like having a stomach flu all the time. It's incredibly painful, and it's not fun. So I got diagnosed with that, and I did all the things I was scared I had an ectopic pregnancy, or who knows what was going on. Very uncomfortable. And I went and I saw GI. And I was diagnosed with UC, and he gave me my prescription and told me to start taking a probiotic and sent me on my way. So that's what I did. I took my medicine. Everything was fine. It was under control. It was in remission. Fast forward to 2016, and I got pregnant with my youngest. And my body did not like that. It was definitely a rough pregnancy. My colitis flared the whole time. I was on prednisone, which is a steroid.
Oh man, don't even talk about that drug. It's bad.
Yeah. And being pregnant, it's like, I don't want to be on this. What can I do? And then I got gestational diabetes. So I just went through the gamut with it and had to change my diet some because of the gestational diabetes. So learned a lot there about blood sugars and this and that. And then after I had the baby, I didn't get better. It took a year. My doctor said, give it a year. It takes a year to make a baby. So give your body a year to adjust. So I took that year and just didn't get significantly better. So my cousin is a chiropractor, and she's always, been in holistic medicine. She's a midwife. She's amazing. So she advised for me to look into an anti-inflammatory diet. So I looked into an anti-inflammatory diet, and it's like no cheese, no bread, no dairy, gluten, soy, corn. So I was like, how am I going to have scrambled eggs without milk? Like, you can't have scrambled eggs without milk, but you can.
Yeah, so, I've used water.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just a matter of beating. But so, just all those things that you're just like, what am I going to do? And a very, very good friend of mine has autoimmune conditions, and she was another one who was just a saving grace. So I don't know what I would have done without the two of them. So in September of 2018, I cut out gluten, dairy, sugar, soy, corn, anything that comes in a box. I pretty much went to fruits, vegetables, and lean proteins. So chicken, turkey, seafood. I don't eat red meat. Never have. So that didn't have to cut that out, which was easy to do. And upon doing that, I lost like 30 pounds.
Wow.
I went from a size 7 to a size 1 in dress pants.
You look tiny.
Yeah. But it was all inflammation. Like, it was just all this inflammation that my body had carried around for so long. And I felt amazing. Best sleep I've had in my life. My energy levels are through the roof. I started exercising because then I was like, oh, I've lost all this weight. Now I'm flabby. So I gotta get in shape.
Mm-hmm.
So I started doing yoga and going to the gym. And I was never a workout person. I would rather have done anything than go to a gym. It was not me.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a big change. But it was a lot of fun. And like I said, it was fun to learn all the things. And upon learning all the things, it's kind of like you go down this rabbit hole of information, and it's like, oh, well, why does the government let this happen? These foods make people sick, and then they need medicine, and then the medicine makes them sick, and they need more medicine, and this just isn't right. And that's really what sparked me wanting to help other people so they don't have to go down the rabbit hole alone. Because it is a lot of information. And when you have someone that you can just talk to and can kind of point you in the right direction and talk you off the ledge is a good thing to have. So that's what I want to do. I want to help people who have either gotten a recent IBS diagnosis or have IBS issues.
Okay, what is IBS?
Irritable bowel syndrome.
Okay.
So nobody wants to talk about poop, but
we can do that here.
Yeah. Exactly. It's everybody does it, everybody has it. And your poop says a lot about what's going on in your body and in your gut and your microbiome. And more studies, are showing that your microbiome is like your second brain.
I've read that. I've been reading things like that, and that we're talking about everything. And when we say gut, we mean stomach and all of the intestines, right?
That's your gut microbiome, but there's also microbiomes in your mouth, on your skin, your whole body is one microbiome. So we actually have more microbes than we do human cells. So I know it sounds crazy.
It's like,
but
it sounds like
we're
little
the
creepy
hosts.
crawler things all over us.
It is, but they're just so small that you can't see them, but they protect you from so many things.
Yeah.
And really having a healthy microbiome helps you to have a healthy immune system, to have a healthy, circulatory system, digestive, all the things. So
did your whole family have to change the way they ate? Did you choose that for them? And because you don't
Yes and
have to have
no.
dairy. We have non-dairy
Correct.
milks and things like that. So you can still have your scrambled eggs. I don't know if it eliminates nuts and you have to stick with seed milks. I mean, those are all things that are out there.
All options. So, you could do oat milk, you can do goat milk.
But can you do oat milk if you can't do grains? Because aren't oats a grain?
It is. So if you cut out, so I did this for about 8 weeks, so about 2 months. I was very strict with it. Wouldn't even lick my son's jelly off of his knife because there was sugar in it. And I couldn't do that because this is how I had to be now. I've since then given myself some grace. So I've learned through the process. So as far as oats go, it depends on, what kind of oat milk you're getting. If you're getting $1.99 oat milk, then it's probably not going to be as good of quality as if you get an organic, non-GMO, $5.99 oat milk.
Yeah.
So it's really more about the ingredients that are in it than the oats themselves, because oats are fine if they're made in a way where they're not as processed. So that's where it gets interesting. Like if you look at the food pyramid, then, the food pyramid was made in the 50s and it hasn't been adjusted since then, but our food sources have changed so much. Like the grain that you got in the 50s and the wheat that you got in the 50s is a way higher quality than the wheat that we get today because it's made so cheap.
I didn't even think about how the food pyramid had changed, but you're absolutely right, because what we eat, they should still be those basics, but they've been modified and enhanced and diminished in different ways. So it's not always the same.
Yeah. So it's just like data, when you put your data into your computer system, the output that you're going to get from that data is only as good or from that system is only as good as the data you put in. So, good input equals good output. So, if you fuel your body with good things, then you're going to feel better.
Yeah.
And everybody's different, there's a lot of people who don't have a gluten sensitivity, but the only way to really know that is to eliminate it and then reintroduce.
So how would you know that though? What are the signs?
Brain fog, headache, fatigue. The first time that I ate pasta after not eating pasta for, 6 months.
How long does it take to flush out?
It depends on the person, I would say.
And how diligent I would say they are, but is it 3 weeks? Is it 4 weeks? So
usually you can do an elimination diet in 3 weeks. I would say 3 weeks is a fair kind of baseline. If you can go 3 to 6 months, that's better. But 3 weeks is a good gauge because you're going to know, you'll feel it.
What would I eliminate? Obviously sugar. And you said packaged goods. So no kettle cooked chips. No. I get that. You said no dairy.
No dairy.
Does that include eggs? Do they fall under dairy?
No, eggs are a protein.
Okay.
And I would recommend pasture raised.
I've read that too. Yeah.
Versus because the cage free,
They're really not.
they have one little square of their whole pen that's outside, and then they can be cage free because they can go outside if they want to, but it's literally like a 4x4.
Yeah. It's the size of their little cage anyway. Yeah. So, okay. So no dairy, no grains. Gluten. Okay. So anything with gluten would be grains.
Yeah.
Obviously bread, pasta.
Yeah. There's some that are you could do cassava flour, almond flour. Those are non-grain, substitutions. So breads, pasta, rice, and some rice rice is, I think it's considered to be gluten-free, but I would still include that in your
Are
elimination.
potatoes gluten-free?
No, sweet
so sad.
potatoes are gluten-free.
Oh, so that's why they eat those.
Yeah, so sweet potatoes are gluten-free, and there's even white sweet potatoes. There's purple sweet
No way.
potatoes. There are. And the white sweet potatoes are sweeter than a orange sweet potato.
That's intriguing too. Did not know this. All right, I'm learning a lot. And obviously I'm asking questions because I want to take this as a challenge. And I think that's what you should do as one of your launches in there is like take the challenge for 3 weeks to do, an elimination of whatever. I will sign up to do that.
All right.
Yeah.
I will hold you to it.
Okay, but I want you to really do it. Like make it on that. I'm not on Facebook much, but I would do this because you're on Facebook and that's where you're going to post the challenge, I guess. If you do it on LinkedIn, it's more public and that's way more accountable for me. So I would be more inclined if you made it on LinkedIn as well as Facebook.
All right. I can definitely do that.
Okay. I gave you an incentive too. All right. So, the ability to lose that much weight is obviously a super high incentive, but the ability to feel better is way more appealing. And I'm sure that this impacts your joints, right?
Yeah. So, interestingly enough, with ulcerative colitis, rheumatoid arthritis goes hand in hand. It's another, inflammatory disease. So I did have a lot of joint pain.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely, I used to wake up every day and like my lower back hurt and I just thought, oh, I'm just getting older. This is what happens. And my lower back pain now is only if I go to the gym and go hard. So it helped with that. Like my sinus congestion
I was going to ask that
away.
too. You're like, then you don't have all of that feeling like you've got stuff in your head.
Yeah, I always congestion, phlegm, all the things. And when I cut out dairy, that's what made me go.
But I do love cheese.
I know. I loved cheese too. Goat cheese.
Love goat cheese.
So do like a buffalo mozzarella instead of, you just kind of want to stay away from the cow base. And this is always a big discussion with my father-in-law because he's like, there's nothing wrong with milk. It's like, okay, well, humans are the only species to consume another species' milk. Especially after infancy.
Yeah.
So if you just look at nature and what nature does, this is not a natural thing for humans to be doing. Yeah. In my opinion.
Yeah. There's plenty of things. If you like ice cream, there's fruit-based sorbets and I don't think there's dairy in there.
No.
Yeah.
No, sorbets are usually good. There's also, you have the supplements. You have a coconut milk or an almond milk, or even an avocado-based ice cream. Things to try.
Okay. These all sound super, super good. All right. So we're staying back as to why you started this business. It's definitely the reasons that you just shared, it improved your health, but now you're going to be able to help so many others. I'm very excited about that for you. What else is the future holding here for you because we're going to switch to another question here soon, but is there anything else that we need to know? Because I think you told us the name of the company, but we should say it again.
Pick Happy Holistic Wellness.
Okay. Yeah. And you're going to be getting your website up there soon. I know.
Website should be up.
Yeah.
Very, very soon. I do have a Facebook group already established. I've had that for like 2 years. So, definitely it's been something I've wanted to do.
Is it public? Can people find it? Okay. So that's good to know. We'll make sure that we share this with the audience and all of the show notes so that people can find you then. All right. Anything else we should know before we switch to our next question?
I don't think so.
All right. Hardest lesson that you learned that changed your life?
That life is short. My father passed away when I was 14. And in the following years, I had quite a few losses. So it definitely taught me that, you have to value the time while you're here, which kind of goes back to, what we talked about earlier and time and where you spend it and who you spend it with.
Yeah. You only get so much time.
Correct.
Yeah. That money will come and go. People will come and go. But I mean, that's still time we've had with these people, but it is important to be good stewards of our daily seconds and minutes and hours that we have.
Exactly.
So the favorite quote that you live by?
Pick happiness because the only thing that you can ever control is your attitude.
That is very true.
Yeah.
So true.
I don't know where I heard it. I wish I could remember, but it's definitely like people can take all the things from you. You know, they can take your house and your family, and the only thing that you have control over is how you're going to respond to that situation. So in raising my kids, I just try to tell them to pick happy. I know it's hard, but and it's
Lauren Prager. You know Lauren, yeah, she's the CEO of Synapse Florida. So she has a very complimentary approach too, that she says to her kids. She says, make it a great day instead of have a good day, which is, more about receiving. It's not as empowering. When you make it a good day or you actually pick happiness, it's very proactive and it shows that these are choices.
Yeah, exactly.
You and Lauren should get together.
We should.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. You guys have very similar outlooks, and she was a guest on my podcast also.
Nice.
Yeah, it dropped a couple weeks ago. Okay, so most grateful for?
My family. Definitely my family. My family, my husband, my mom, my brother, they're the most supportive people in my life. I live for my kids. They just make me happy.
And something that's really funny is I had heard this on another show. Somebody was talking about, you actually choose your family. And I've heard that many, many times, but it really resonated with me because if you're a person that doesn't have a lot of family, or maybe your family is gone and you're the sole person that's left, we can still pick who our family is. And that says a lot because, those are the people that are the closest to you.
Yeah, it's your friendly.
That's
what they call it, our friendly.
Yeah, kind of like friend-giving.
Yeah, friendsgiving.
Yeah. Yeah, very nice. So the next question is, who in your life has had the biggest impact and why? It can be more than one person, though, just in all fairness.
Yeah, I would say definitely my mom. Growing up, we didn't go to a regular doctor. We went to a homeopathist.
Okay, define that.
So homeopathy is plant-based medicine. So for instance, arnica is a plant. And there's an arnica balm. And if you hit yourself and you're going to get a bruise, you put arnica on it and it makes you not bruise.
Okay, what is that?
Arnica. Arnica. Arnica.
I've never heard of that.
It's amazing.
Where do you get that?
You can get it on Amazon now.
Well, is it in health stores?
Yeah,
I am not an Amazon fan.
Okay.
So you got to give me another choice.
Yeah, I mean, I think they even sell it like at Target now. They have it at Publix.
Is it a vitamin?
No, it's like a cream or a gel.
So it's in the wellness area.
Yes, but you can also get it in pellet form. And that's what the homeopathic medicines come in. They're like little bitty tablets. And you would put them under your tongue and they dissolve into your body and heal you from the inside out.
Is it like anise?
I don't know what that is.
Licorice? Does it have that kind of a taste?
Oh, no. It's like a sugar pill.
Oh.
A little sugar tablet is what it tastes like.
But so what is it healing in me then?
Well, it depends on which one you use. So arnica, for instance, if my kids fall and hit themselves, I'll give them a dose of arnica because it's going to reduce the inflammation. I ran into my husband's trailer hitch, walked right into it. And I slathered arnica on my knee and I didn't bruise. And I had done this before, I don't know, a couple of years ago, and I didn't have arnica and my knee was purple. So I've seen it work. It's amazing. But there's also, for instance, pulsatilla is another one. And pulsatilla is when you have a head cold and you have all the green congestion coming out. My mom would always give us pulsatilla. If you're exhausted and you just have no energy, then it was gelseminicum. If you had
these are all names I've never heard of. And I'm reading right now about arnica and I'm going, wow. And it's used for apparently skin and antibiotics. And it can be, well, wait, it says it's unsafe when taken in the mouth, but this is the cream.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't in all fairness, don't take a cream. It's not for your mouth. But it definitely says that it can reduce swelling, decrease pain, and act as antibiotics. So can you put it on your screen? It says bruises, that it can reduce that. I'm trying to say skin and cream at the same time, so it came out as scream. But yeah, This is like totally new to me. You are throwing a lot of good things out there. What was this other name that you mentioned? It began with a J.
Gelsinicum.
Yeah. G. Yeah.
Yeah. So gelsinicum when we would get sick, and if you were tired, like just exhausted, like I'm just tired, I just want to lay down. Everything is like achy. She would always give us gelsinicum.
Interesting.
Yeah, and you can get them at any like health store. I know Whole Foods has them, Chamberlain's.
How do you spell Gelsenica?
Oh, G-E-L.
I'm trying to GEL. Oh, okay. I did SIN.
N-I-C-I-U-M, maybe. Spelling bee was never my strong suit.
Yeah, we'll find it. We'll get it. We'll share that one too. Yeah, that one's a tricky one there. But is there a third one that you would?
I mean, they have them for everything.
Yeah.
Like, Ignatia is probably one that I would highly recommend. It's IGNATIA. IGNITIA. Ignatia.
Okay. I'm not sure. It's not showing up. It's not the ECH one.
That's echinacea.
Yes.
That's different.
Okay. I'm confusing it then. Yeah. Yeah. I can tell. Okay. Every week you need to have one of these little tips up there going out, because you're going to be educating so many people with all of these definitely products or holistic methods of, healing that we didn't know about. I'm sure by reducing the inflammatory issues and using some of these other plant-based, I'm going to assume they are plant-based items, it can maybe even cure cancer. I don't know about that one, but I know that people that go through fasting, intermittent fasting, and then totally removing all of the things that you're saying are bad for us, it has been really helpful to get into remission and just change. I think Susan Summers was one of those people.
I think you're right.
Yeah, that she totally shifted her whole, and that's how she overcame breast cancer.
Yeah. Yeah, and then maybe not all cancers.
No, not all.
But
it kind of depends on the stage,
it will
right?
100% support your body, though.
Mm.
And even for cancer recovery, making sure that you're getting your, enough leafy greens and eating the rainbow.
So I want to thank you for sharing all of those really great things. And your mother sounds like she was super wise, having given you the gifts of, I don't think these are things that most people grow up knowing.
No, definitely not. I mean, like, she was always like nicknamed like the voodoo doctor, or go see the witch doctor.
Oh, no.
She has for you. So it, I mean, she definitely caught a lot of slack for it, but she believed in it, and I believe in it. She inspired my cousin, who is a chiropractor. She's one I mentioned earlier, Karen Rahano, and she's in Chicago. And her and I were talking, and she's like, your mom's really the one that like got me into all this, because, it's just about being more natural. And I think there's also a shift now, currently, where people are trying to de-prescribe. They want to get off their medications. It's instead of just give me the pill. Now it's like, I want off the pill. What do I do?
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely a movement.
What would you want to be remembered for in your life?
Being kind. Just being a good person, being helpful. My son's in Scouts, so it's like all those Scout things, like
the little pledge, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like
a Scout is
courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, reverent, thrifty.
You know them pretty well.
Brave. I don't know all of them. I always mess this up, but
that's a majority. That's an
really just being a good person, doing the right things, and helping people, and just making the world a better place.
Well, this is where we're going to take a little break and acknowledge our sponsor, Cat 5 Studios.
The Intern Whisperer is brought to you by Cat 5 Studios, who help you create games and videos for your training and marketing needs that are out of this world. Visit Cat 5 Studios for more information to learn how Cat 5 Studios can help your business. Thank you, Cat 5 Studios.
So we're now back to the second half of our show. We're going to talk about the future of jobs in the industries. What does 2030 look like? What do you think it's going to look like, Ashley?
Oh, I can only imagine the way things are going with AI. And
it's like 7 years from now, but if we don't count this year and we don't count, the 2030 year, then it's 5 years away. And we used to think 5 years. Like, what would it look like? But so much has changed in this last decade, right?
Oh yeah,
AI,
absolutely.
COVID, things, natural disasters, and then just wars, and so much. It's something that's really, I think, worthy of pause. And it makes me wonder, what will 2030 look like?
I'm hoping
Mm-hmm.
that 2030 is going to be way more peaceful than what it is now
I'm with you on that.
in all areas. Not just from a war standpoint, but from an economy standpoint, that things aren't so expensive, and the cost of food.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like a bag of apples shouldn't be $6. It's just
I was
apples.
appalled. Yes. I was buying something and I went, holy cow, when did that price, become something that's, almost close to $10,
Yeah,
like oranges and things. And I
Yeah.
just went, holy cow.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. So it makes me wonder what, they've talked a lot about having foods that are 3D printed. I saw this show called The Future of. It's on Netflix. I know I didn't discuss this one with you before we had the show, but they talked about having 3D printed food where, it could be meat substitutes or it's plant-based meat. And then, boom, it's there. But they also talked about, and I thought this was so fascinating, your home would be growing vegetables in it. And the home, it's like almost like living in a tree house. There's these high rises, but they're covered with plants, and there would be biologists. No, what did they call them? They were somebody, botanists maybe, that are there grooming the plants on there. And that's really where you're on your patio, you'd be growing your foods. And I'm going, food doesn't grow that fast.
No, it doesn't.
Radishes do in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah. I've grown a fair share of things. But it's also like, what is it being grown in? Because there's the microbiome in the soil.
Right.
And, there's studies that back up if you're getting your hands dirty, you're being exposed to more and more microbes, which it just helps your body. And I was actually watching the Fantastic Fungi on Netflix the other day, and it was talking about the mycelium that runs under, where trees and plants like talk to each other under the soil through these vast systems. So I don't know how those systems are going to grow up buildings, but I'd be curious to see.
I'm looking for this. Now tell me again what I'm looking for in Netflix, because this would be my kind.
Fantastic Fungi.
Fantastic Fungi. There it is. I'm going to go make it a favorite, just so you know.
I only got like 25 minutes through it, so I haven't finished it yet, but just talking about that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some really good things that are on Netflix that are about connectivity, us to the world, to the plants, to the birds, to, the earth. And when you were saying that when you touch the dirt, that it's healthy, right? Mm-hmm. I went, okay, so that's why I've heard people say, well, they go walking barefoot. So they're actually connecting with the earth.
Yeah, grounding. So a grounding practice, it actually helps to remove negative ions from your body. So
Holy cow.
So you should really stand barefoot in the grass, or, in natural grass on the ground for like 15 minutes a day. I know they have like grounding mats where you can sleep with them. I know somebody who has one, and he said it's the best sleep of his life.
So what is a grounding mat?
So
this sounds very futuristic. So I like it.
Kind of futuristic. So you just put it in your bed, but there's something in it that has that same effect of like laying on the earth, like laying on the ground. So
does it have like the minerals and it's like encased in there?
I have no idea.
Grounding. Now you gave me another thing.
Another thing to look into.
Oh my gosh.
But it helps to remove negative ions from your body. So it's like you're exposed to a lot of things just in the environment, mold, spores, air,
okay, you're totally changing my life. all for the better. I just want you to know, totally changing
It's
it.
a lot of information.
Yeah, it is. It's just really good because I went, wow, I've heard of some of this stuff, but I haven't heard of this mat that you can sleep on. I'm going, well, I wouldn't want that. That sounds like going camping.
Yeah, and they have them like you can put them on your like under your desk, so you can just like kick your shoes off and have a grounding mat.
Okay, that's affordable. I'm going to go do that.
Yeah. I think they're like $50
All right.
on that place you don't like.
And I'm going to see if it makes me feel any better. And then I'm going to report back to you.
Do it.
And I'll do it on your Facebook
Like
group.
a little experiment.
Yeah. Yeah. We should, you know what? Okay. Not only should there be a challenge, a 3-week challenge, now there should be a way that we can, what would I do? Like endorsements of things that you're doing. So I know you're loving this right now.
I am.
Yeah,
I am. I'm gonna make some notes here.
I hope you do. Cause like
my notes from Isabella.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to have those little contests. We need to have incentives that we all give each other as like here's a good product. Try this product out,
Yeah. To make it like a game.
Yeah. And that can be who your sponsors are.
Boom.
Okay. So
It's
I'm
all
just
coming together.
Yeah, it is all
Give
coming
me more,
together.
give me
Yeah.
more.
I will. I'll try on it. So we've talked about the future of, and you've shared a really good show on Netflix. So I'm going to go look for the
Fantastic fungi
for sure. And the ones that I also like are, I don't see any of mine that are here, but
what is the building one that you were watching?
that one is the future of. It's called The Future of. And if you watch it, they talk about dogs talking, they talk about AR, VR, they talk about, how our food is going to be produced. They talk about, how the plants will be, being a part of the structure of the buildings that we live in. So it is more of a symbiotic relationship.
That's awesome.
Because we can go up. It reminded me quite a bit of Avatar. I'm not going to lie. I'm sitting there going, this looks like Avatar. This looks like Avatar, like all of those things that we see. But then there's also George of the Jungle. I'm going to throw that one in there because it's just kind of fun. But, it was a good set of a series of how we can see it. There's another one. I'll try and find it. It'll probably be later after we do this particular episode. But it was about connectivity, and I think it was called something like that. They have these things called Explained. Right now I'm watching Life on Our Planet, and that one's, very, very interesting. But they're all in the docuseries. That's why I tend to like those quite a bit. I'm still trying to find it while we're talking. Anyway, forget it. Back to the show. So, okay. Which do you want? You can pick one. Robots, AI, augmented reality, or virtual reality. What do you pick?
None of the above. No, I don't know. Probably AI.
Okay.
I don't know. It's kind of scary too.
It is. Did you see the special that was with Jeffrey Hinton on 60 Minutes?
I did not.
Oh my gosh, you got to go back and watch it. It was on October 8th. That was my birthday, so I remember
Happy
it.
birthday.
Thank you very much. And Jeffrey Hinton, GeoffreyHinton, he is the godfather and inventor of AI back in the 50s. And he has been developing, and he now has said to people, I wish I had never invented it. True quote, because if we don't become good stewards really quick, like now, it will take humanity down. And it's very, very foreboding that the person that invented it is saying this.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It's not surprising. I mean, like I just heard about an AI solving a CAPTCHA. So it's like, oh, well, if an AI can
That's a little scary.
Then they can get into all of my personal information. So,
and that's exactly what he said.
Yeah,
it can play havoc. It can shut down your ability to bank, to get a house. Can remove your health records. There's just like you become invisible.
Yeah, I mean, it's like stealing your identity on steroids.
Yeah. That's a really good quote. I'm going to write that one down too. Okay. So since we're talking about AI, what ethical dilemmas do you see? Well, we just
like
some.
all of them.
Yeah, those that we just said, but there's stewardship, right? That we need to have. So, just because we can use it doesn't mean we should. And where are the committees? I know that they're out there.
Yeah, there definitely needs to be more committees, and there needs to be more laws around the development of some of these technologies.
Yeah. Laws and regulations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I mean, if you look back, like nuclear energy was great until they made a weapon with it.
And then killed people.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's, there's a movie with Will Smith where the robots take over. I think it's iRobot. Is that it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie. Now I'm going to go back and watch it too.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, but I mean, it's coming. It's here.
There are robots.
Yeah.
We know they are
Yeah.
because they're in restaurants in Osceola County and Kissimmee.
Yep.
There's robots that will bring your food to you at your table. I've been told about those that are in the parks in California.
Mhm.
There's robotic dogs. We know that, they run the perimeter of the walls that
Yeah.
keep any of our potential aliens from coming in, because then you don't need human guards. They don't need breaks. They don't need, to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that humans can be totally replaced because of that stewardship, because of the emotional intelligence. So I think that is another thing that needs to be in consideration too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. To me, all of what I think that we're talking about is that we need to be way more engaged than where we are. We shouldn't be passive in life. We need to be proactive and realize, it's not about us, of course. People that like you and myself that are people of faith know that we're here to serve. So we need to be the guardians, so to speak, of our galaxy.
Yeah.
Mic drop. So, what is the best mentoring advice that you want to share with our listeners?
I would say don't be afraid to be yourself, be genuine, and always ask questions. Those who don't ask don't get. So I had a boss who would always say that, and I started telling my kids that because he's my oldest is a senior in high school, and he's like, "Well, I don't want to ask." And it's like, "Well, if you don't ask, you don't get." So you need to ask. What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
And that's another thing, you think about what's the worst that could happen. They could say no. Okay, well, if they say no, then what? Then it doesn't mean that door is closing. It just means that it's opening the door for a better opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. So how can our listeners contact you? I know a website, we'll be able to post that out there later, but is LinkedIn the best way to connect right now?
LinkedIn or Facebook. I do have a Facebook group called Pick Happy. That is open to the public. I also have a Facebook page with my contact info there. And that's at Pick Happy.
Got it. All right. Well, I want to thank you for being a guest on the show. This has been, wow, I learned so much, and I'm going to have to go back and spend a little bit more time, like looking up some of the things that you've mentioned for sure. But thank you.
Thank you for having me. This has been amazing.
Very nice.
I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me and to let me speak to all of your people.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We want to thank our sponsor, Cat 5 Studios, and thank you to our video production team, Gabe Laporte, Tommy Myers, Andrew Pagat, and Jalissa Hurtado. Our music is by Charles Lawrence Light. Visit Employers for Change at www.e4c.tech, which brings you this podcast to learn how you can create real diversity and inclusive culture while skilling your people for the future of work. Thank you for supporting the Intern Whisperer by subscribing to us on Podbean. Our Employers for Change